streaming across several platforms. Gonna get a lot of viewers today, but we got a lot to talk about. It's a non-newsworthy cycle with LSU football. So guess we can just get straight into this Bama game this week first. I don't know how you feel, Hogue, but I'm kind of excited. I'm interested to see how these guys play for Frank. I mean, it sounds like they're hitting at practice again, which I guess they weren't doing before. And I'm just excited. I think Van Buren's going to get a little run. So, it should be interesting.
Yeah, man. First of all, happy to be here on Mafia Mondays. Great way to start the week. Just dive right into it. Yeah, man. Honestly, the most optimistic I've probably thought about a game all season this year.
Yeah.
I think just like Frank coming back, or Frank being the interim, immediate shift kind of in the culture. Obviously, bringing back that old school philosophy.
Right.
I mean, as many people saw, had the players come back talking to the team, kind of, laying it out, hey, there's either two ways this can go. You either can fight or run from it. Love what he did with the sirens, the World War II sirens. I mean, I think he's pulled them together. Feeling optimistic about it. I think we're going to come out firing. I think we're going to, obviously we'll dive into it, but I think we're going to try to run the ball. Obviously, that's kind of a weakness on Bama. And Travis Atkins, he loves his counters. So I'm feeling more optimistic than most people would think going into this game.
I think it's good too because it's like there's not some huge pressure to win at this point. Like you're just kind of going in with no expectations. But I want to see like the physicality of the team. Like I want to see how they play for Frank because it feels like he's done a lot in the short amount of time he's been at the interim to fix things. I mean, get all the players back, and he said in the press conference today he's going to do that like every Thursday or something, bring them all back and have them talk to the team. And man, at the press conference, he's called every single committed recruit in the last two classes. A little technical difficulty.
Sorry about that.
But he said he's doing a recruiting power hour every other day, and he's calling every single kid in the class. So, I mean, as far as interim goes, you can't ask for much more. It seems like I think he's gunning. Obviously he's going to want the job, but I think he's making a real push. But I just don't see how he would ever get it unless you win this game. So, honestly, all these guys, for sure on the offensive side of the ball, like if they want to stay in Baton Rouge, they got to pull out all the stops to win this game, or else I really feel like it doesn't happen. The only way I could see losing this game and somehow him getting hired is like it'd have to be like super close, and then you win out. But even then, I think it would maybe be a hard sell. But I love what he says. Just watching the press conferences compared to BK, where BK is just like saying the same things every week for 4 straight years. Like today, they were asking him about like recruiting Harlem Berry in 8th grade, and he's talking about like Harlem Berry's mom and dad and his grandpa. He's talking about like watching him in like the New Orleans like Little League and watching him play baseball. It's like this dude is like the godfather of Louisiana high school sports and for football. So yeah, I'm excited just to see how they come out and play for him.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Frank Wilson embodies like the culture of LSU to a T. I mean, multiple recruits, not even, obviously he's the running backs coach, but like across many years, across many positions, they always loved Frank. And I think obviously he's bringing that something that he can relate with the players, right? Kind of bringing that fight mentality that obviously BK was lacking, right? Kind of tone deaf, obviously, and very CEO approach as they used to say. So I think they're going to play hard for him. I like where his mindset's at. Obviously, I know he's rooting for that interim job. I think it's kind of similar to Coach O, where obviously not like an X's and O's mastermind, but he's really that like leader type. I think he can give a hell of a speech before a game, get the guys riled up.
We've been missing that big time.
Which I think is something that has been evident that we've just had like no fight. I think it will be interesting to see in this game is like how we play if we do go down. So say if we go down like 17-7, you know what I mean? Like we're not out of it, but like, I feel like, especially with this team right now, like we just kind of churned over at any adversity. So I'm interested to see how we're going to play. And also kind of interested to see how Nussmeier plays with the new play calling. Obviously, there's a lot of different factors on, whether it's him, play calling, whatever the case may be on why he has been playing good this season. But it will be interesting to see just kind of the game plan with Travis Atkins. Obviously, Bama ranks 73rd in rushing defense. I mean, we're 124th in rushing offense, but it seems like the last 3 weeks we've been able to run the ball. And I guess what has been leaked now is that was all due to Atkins calling those plays and not Joe Salone, or at least Atkins actually scheming up those plays.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they attack Bama. And then obviously on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, I guess, thankfully we're not playing a running quarterback this week.
That's actually huge for us. That's huge for the Blake Baker scheme.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at Bama too, it's not like obviously they have explosive plays just like any other team, but they're a very methodical offense. Kalen DeBoer likes to kind of death by 1,000 cuts. So, I mean, this could be an opportunity where the defense could step up and kind of get back on the same page. Obviously, it sounds like Weeks isn't going to play, and I think we're pretty thin at linebacker. I mean, I know he's questionable, but I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but it just seems like.
I've been saying I don't think he's coming back this year.
Yeah,
because he hasn't practiced since the South Carolina game. After that, he hasn't practiced one time. They said today he's going to try to practice tomorrow, but we'll see.
I don't know. I feel like, especially with his history with, I don't know if it's the same ankle or not, but when he had the dislocated ankle, I don't know. I think that's very hopeful thinking. I mean, obviously, I'm worried about the O-line. I mean, heard DJ Chester's name thrown out there a couple of times. I'm glad at least Frank Wilson had the perspective to not just come out and say, "Oh, well, it'll definitely be DJ Chester coming in."
What I was thinking about BK is before the A&M game, he came out on that Monday press conference and said, "Oh yeah, DJ Chester, he's going to start again at left tackle." And then Thursday the radio show it changes, but I'm interested to see what they do there because Kern's questionable. And then he said, he definitely didn't lock in the DJ being the starting left tackle if he doesn't play. He said they might flip Davis, which I mean I don't know how much better that's going to be. And then I would wonder if they flip Davis, who's going to be the right tackle? Do you kick out Thompson and then put Ori Williams at one of the guards, or flip Mbanga to right guard? No good options. If Kern doesn't play, it's scary.
I mean, I guess they could throw Chester in the guard if they bang out Thompson in the right tackle.
Well, that's what I just have never understood is that all year, all offseason, it was just probably because, poor DJ Chester, we didn't do right by him. We didn't play him at guard. He's a guard. But we play him at center, and then all they want to do this year is play him at tackle. And it's do we not have any other tackle that's better? Because, Chester plays center because, that's the size. He's a guard, but he's not this mountain of a man. Usually your tackle is Weston Davis is huge. He looks like an NFL tackle. Chester does not. So I really hope Kern can go. I'm just crossing my fingers. I don't want to see that O-line without Tyree Adams and Chester go to Bama. And you got, and Adams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to see what that's going to look like for an entire game if you don't even have Kern.
Yeah. Thankfully, Bama's good. Obviously, Bama's obviously a good SEC team, but it's not like we're playing A&M this week on the D-line. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of a break there, but offensive line, it's been a question all season, and injuries just continue to make it worse. I'm just hoping Kern can play. He's obviously been a bright light as a freshman. Hopefully if we can retain him, he's going to be good for the next few years.
But that's going to be the thing with everyone on the team is who do we retain? And I do want to say everyone's given Frank a ton of credit for keeping the recruiting class and everything, but to me it just really doesn't mean anything. It's nice to see that it honestly isn't nice to see. It just seems like none of the recruits cared about Brian Kelly. The real test is going to be obviously when the position coaches get fired. I'm seeing all these people be oh, Frank's doing such a good job, and all these guys are staying. It's at the end of the season, whenever we do get a new coach in, maybe only Corey Raymond and Frank Wilson are coming back. Like, you think all those receivers are going to stay committed? You think all those O-linemen? I mean, Brad Davis, there's no shot you can sell him coming back. I already
No.
saw, like, Bryson Martinez, one of our top, like, O-line commits. Like, he was at Texas for a visit this last week. So I don't want to, I feel like some people are overstating, acting like no matter what, this whole recruiting class is going to stay together. I just don't think that's going to be the case.
I mean, I don't know if people are just being optimistic because early signing days, in a month.
Yeah.
But, it's all going to come down to who we hire at the end of the day. Because once all those position coaches leave, who knows? I mean, I'm hoping we can retain Frank Wilson at a minimum and Corey Raymond. I feel like
they have to keep both of those guys.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't keep – I think Wilson you just keep in general because he knows Louisiana so much. And then Raymond, it's just like what more could you want a DB coach? And also, if Raymond stays, DJ Pickett stays. If Raymond's gone, I think DJ Pickett's gone. Like, that seems Pickett's dad is, liking tweets on Twitter talking about it. If Raymond stays, that they're there. They're talking about it. They took less money than they could have got at other places because they love Corey Raymond. So, and I just don't know why you would fire him, let him go.
Yeah.
We did that last time. We let all those guys go, and then we just have to end up paying them back. So,
yeah, I'm hoping that I don't know. I mean, I guess this new regime maybe will make that clear kind of whenever they're talking to candidates. Like, hey, there's a few guys that kind of needs part of the staff. I mean, I don't know. As a head coach, you want to keep Corey Raymond. I mean, his track record's immaculate. What he's done with DJ Pickett's obviously awesome, but he pulled why am I blanking on his name? PJ Woodland, 3-star out of Mississippi, and was like, okay, I can do something with that. I mean, that's what he did at LSU.
Yeah.
The guys like Greedy Williams, undersized, small dude, people like that, where it's just he finds the talent, he develops them. He didn't recruit Stamps, and we saw how that went.
Yeah.
Stamps is gone.
But in NCAA football, he's like a 90 overall somehow.
Oh, he still got that star badge.
Yeah. He'll be doing good at La Tech next year, I bet.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, besides him, honestly, you just need Frank Wilson and Raymond to be retained. I mean, how do you feel about Hankton? I mean, I think obviously
I want him gone, man. I want him gone. I think most LSU fans want to keep him, but for me, one thing that I've really never been able to shake is the whole Kayshawn thing. What happened there? I mean, let's just call it how it is. I mean, Cortez is running a train with his players on a staffer. It shows a lack of leadership in my book. Even if you say he grew past that, just, if we put the running a train aside on the female staffer, if you look, he's never pulled a 5-star state wide receiver that has actually gotten to campus. And I think that's ridiculous. I mean, you can say like DeCorian Moore, we didn't pay up the money that Oregon did. Well, like we just said with Corey Raymond's such a good coach that you got DJ Pickett, number one corner in the nation, taking less money just to be developed by him. So that and his rotations throughout the game, I think he played too many guys. I think that could also be part of Nuss's problem. Last year it was pretty locked in who your three receivers were. It was gonna be Lacey, CJ Daniels, and then maybe that third spot rotated a little bit. But this year it's I feel like Aaron Anderson, I know he's been hurt the last couple of weeks, but even the first couple of games, I feel like half the time he wasn't on the field. And then you got we're throwing screens to Nick Anderson and Chris Hilton. It's those are vertical guys. I don't know, just too much rotation. I know you got a lot of mouths to feed because you spent all this money in the portal, but even then, the guys we got outside of Barry and Brown, I don't feel great on the investment.
No, I agree. I mean, the rotation has cost us so many points, especially at the red zone. I can't even
play
talk about
in the
that.
Vanderbilt game, and
we're
at the 1-yard line. We should be just running a halfback dive, and we're rotating out receivers. We have to call a timeout. It's just mind-numbing stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, my thing on him is I mean, obviously you have people like Kayshawn and Malik, and Brian Thomas that have been successful, but it's I think those guys are just guys. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I think they would be good
Also,
with
all
most
those guys
receiver
were
coaches.
there, but when Hankton got there, like he didn't recruit those guys. Like they all were. I think his name was like Mickey Joseph.
Mickey Joseph, yeah.
The old receivers coach. Like the development. I don't think it's been there either.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how many? I mean, obviously, there's some people that just don't pan out, but I feel like the amount of like freshmen we've brought in, like, just nothing. Like, there hasn't been that many talent. I mean, how many people do we get in the portal this year? I mean, Aaron Anderson was a transfer. Barry Brown was a transfer. I mean, Kyle Parker, I guess, is one of our best, recruit guys.
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
been
at the end of the day, like Kyle Parker, I feel like his ceiling is not as high. Like he is what he is. He's a good player. But yeah, I just think some of the swings we took in the portal, I would hope we're not paying these guys a ridiculous amount. But it seems like Nick Anderson, I mean, I know for a fact we are. I mean, like Destin Hill from Florida State, like I don't think I've even seen him on the field this year. And then like I'm listening to like Moscano and Ruffino, and they're talking about how like Manchild and some of like the youngest guys, I think like Philip Wright, they're saying, are like I think Ruffino said like they were miles better, it seemed like, than like guys like Nick Anderson, some of the other ones in camp. And it's just like we're gonna play the portal guys because we're paying them the money. And it's like if you get that talent evaluation wrong, it's rough. And then look on the other side of the ball where the defensive coaches, like I think they're on the money with their talent evaluation. Like Delane, Halsey is like a complete beast.
even
And
Cooley. Cooley's been
Cooley,
playing.
yeah.
I
And
mean, he's
I'll
good.
say Patrick Payton, I think, is good. He's just like not a beast standalone DN. Like he misses Relaford a lot off the other side of the edge. And I think that's going to be the key to the Bama game on defense is can you get a pass rush? Because we have not been having that because we had Gooden banged up. He'll be back. Butler will be back, which will be nice because we just can't run out Dylan Carpenter again, man. If I see respect to Dylan Carpenter, program guy, but I asked Brian Kelly about him, and he's like, "Well, we just love how Dylan Carpenter's. We know he's going to be in the right spot at the all time, but he's a DN, man. You have to get pressure. I'd rather see a guy like Shanklin, like one of these freshmen, get a shot. Shanklin played
Yeah.
like one time against Southeastern and got like a sack and a half. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
some of the more talented guys get a shot with Frank.
Yeah. And I can see that too, because I mean, we can also touch on this now, just like the practices ramping up physicality. It sounds like they're just trying to make them compete more.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously the portal is something that's been part of college football, and like you're paying guys, so you want to use them, but like it's not how this works. Like, if we pay a guy $1 million, like that's on us for whiffing.
Right.
But like,
you don't have to play him. If
you don't
he's not
have
the
to
best
play
guy.
him. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like every time we try to throw a Nick Anderson, for example, like, we're just forcing it to him. Like it's
Right.
no flow.
It's like
He also
screens, and he's like a 6'5" receiver, like jump ball guy. Like what are we doing? We got Barry and Brown, Xavier Thomas, way better dudes to throw screens to. Or we'll throw to Bauer Sharp a screen, like the slowest tight end in the SEC. It's just
and another
offense. Yeah, mind numbing.
Another thing for Hankton is like we had CJ Daniels last year, and he's like having a really good year at Miami, and we didn't use him at all. At all.
He did a podcast like with some Miami dudes at the beginning of the year, and he talked about how the reason he left is because like they didn't get him the ball.
Yeah.
He said he loved LSU and he had like a lot of love for everybody there, but like at the end of the day, like he didn't feel like he was getting the ball as much as he needed to. And it's like, yeah, like I honestly didn't think he was anything special. And then all of a sudden it's like week 3 and every game he's doing like a one-handed touchdown at Miami. It's like, dude, well, him and like Xavier Atkins, the linebacker for Auburn, it's like, how do we let these guys go? I mean, CJ Daniels, like whatever. We have a million receivers, but Atkins, that one hurts for me. Every time I see his name pop up, it just pisses me off, to be honest.
Yeah, Atkins is tough. I mean, I love West Weeks, but like the potential with Atkins it's way more there. And it's like
it was more like they played Keys over him. Like you can't tell me Atkins wasn't better than Keys last year. Like there's no way he just popped up at Auburn and was this absolute stud. And like from like the podcast of the LSU reporters I watch, it was because once again it's this thing with the Kelly regime is if they like how Keys like 100% always knew his assignment. Like, he wasn't going to blow anything. But you just got to put your dudes on the field and live with the mistakes as a freshman. That's one thing I'm not going to miss about the Kelly era is the unwillingness to play young guys because you're afraid they might mess one thing up. Well, you play the guys that aren't as good, and it costs you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like taking the safe option, which is also just like soft, honestly.
Right.
Like, you started with Keys. We would play him over Atkins last year. I mean, the Dylan Carpenter thing. It's just like, I mean, it's been a repetition thing. I mean, like, Harlem Berry should have been getting more run. Yes. It seems like from
the
same
thing
very
with
beginning.
Durham last year. It took forever to get Durham. I remember 2023, we're all screaming that Whit Weeks is our best linebacker. Why does he barely play? Well, Brian Kelly, he's a freshman. He's still figuring everything out. It's like, dude, it's like the only guy on our team besides Burke that comes in and makes plays that year. So, but I want to get back to like the practice intensity because that was like the big quote that came out of today's press conference that Blake Baker went to Frank and was like, or I guess Frank went to him and said, what do you think we need to do? Because obviously, the defense has kind of been going downhill. And Blake told him, it'd be good to get like a live action in practice, get some more physicality so they're not just showing up on game day and haven't hit anybody in a week, which is just crazy that we're not being physical at all. But immediately when I saw that, I thought back to a Brian Kelly press conference like right before the Clemson game. I think it was like the week of the game. And he was like boastful and bragging how like little injuries they got this camp and how they track everything and they want to make sure there's no soft tissue injuries. And how he was so happy that they didn't have any injuries and that's something they look at. And it's just like, yeah, it seems like they're not probably weren't doing anything. Like you're trading on, yeah, you're going to get injuries, but to have a soft football team is far worse.
Yeah. It's definitely not the old school mindset that like
no
any LSU team had in the past and just like being physical. I mean, obviously love to hear that they're going to do that before the Bama game, but also it's just like, what were we doing before, right? Are we not doing any live action? I mean, obviously you're trying to keep people healthy during the season, but it's just like, so still college football, man. Like you're still developing people. Like people are still getting better week to week, especially teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. It seems like we always decline throughout the seasons with PK, but we don't have to harp on him anymore.
Yeah, because I think of LSU like I think of like the Les Miles years. I think of that one video where they like the big cat drill, and like I just remember before I was an LSU fan, like I always remember like every time on defense LSU like they have all 11 people flying to the ball and like running through it, and like, I remember Devin White. He's like. You crawl after he makes a big hit, like 10 yards down the field and beat his chest. Like, we just haven't had that since 2019, honestly. And, Frank was there for all those years, so I'm hoping we get some of that, like, swagger back and physicality. Because, honestly, I mean, we have nothing to lose this week. If we go out and get skull-fucked by Bama by 35-40, like, okay, it is. I mean, it'll be a little disappointing to us because we're kind of hopeful for a little bit of change. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter. We're not necessarily playing for anything. Like, we're not making the playoffs. So I hope they put out some wrinkles on offense. And I think the defense could get back on track because not having a mobile quarterback, I honestly makes the world a difference. Because I mean, what's the best part of Bama's team? Like, their weapons. I still love, like, I think we have as good a DBs as anyone in the country. So I think we can match up there. I think we're decent at stopping the run. But it's just kind of like you said earlier, the second we get down by more than one possession, it's like everyone freaks out, especially on offense. Like you go down 10, it's the second quarter, and it's like we're running the air raid now because we feel like we're running out of time. So you can still run the ball, you can still do things. So I feel good about Frank. I don't think he's going to do that anymore. And another thing that he mentioned in the press conference is he wanted all the coaches to be heard, which I thought was like a slight shot at BK. And that he's getting everyone in the coaching staff involved. Because it's kind of like you said, like, what were we doing before? Like, we weren't being physical at all. I think no one really think they could say anything to BK. I don't think the staff guys liked him too much. Because now that it's coming out that it was really Woodward that hired all these defensive coaches after, Brian Kelly swung and missed on like 90% of his initial staff. So I'm just interested to see how they come together. Like, I think we're going to find out how big of a cancer BK really was.
Yeah, I agree. And I think touching on the defense too, I mean, obviously, like, if you're looking at, just like the ranking or like statistical rankings right now. I mean, Bama's what 114th in rushing, so they're gonna air it
Mhm.
out. They're 15th in passing. Like, I feel great about our secondary. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously our biggest Achilles heel has been a running quarterback. So I mean, I think this is a game where we can make it interesting, right? I mean, we can stay with their weapons. I feel good about us on the back end. It's just we're gonna have to, like you said, get a pass rush without
Yeah.
having to send the house every time.
Yeah.
But
Oh man. Hold on.
those
I think.
exotic.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Vitality dropped us a chat. Oh, I mean, what would you give the percent chance of winning?
Percent chance. I want to say like 25 to 30.
Yeah, I would go like 30. But
Yeah,
say we didn't fire Brian Kelly last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever the hell it was.
0.
Uh, I would be at like 5. Yeah, I would be so low.
I mean, if we still had Brian Kelly, the team would have given up 100%.
100%. I mean,
We,
they did. Yeah,
we would
we
have done.
watched them give up.
We also wouldn't have practiced at all during the bye week. Brian Kelly would have left
Yeah,
on
dude,
like Thursday.
that is crazy that he would just go to the beach. I mean, that I feel like that never got reported to the public until he got fired. It's like, dude,
And
some
I
of the
mean,
things
this
that have come out really give
dude,
me hope for the future that, like, if you just get a coach that cares and is slightly competent, that because it's honestly everything that's coming out, it's almost shocking to me that we were even as good as we were. Like, I'm
same.
surprised we weren't in like a Florida Auburn situation where, like, yes, you're firing a coach again, but like you've also had like 2, 3 straight losing seasons. Like, I mean, we're still like winning 9. I mean, what was the worst BK year last year? 8 wins.
8-4. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
I
think
mean,
Auburn's had that since Gus Malzahn.
yeah. No, I'd say like obviously I don't want to stay ripping on BK here, but like what shocked me the most about it, like obviously, like you said, everything that came out, but like what really aggravated me the most was just the fact that like we brought in BK because it was so disorganized. Basically, Coach O, like Uncle Ed, just not disciplining the players. There's no discipline across the board. So we're bringing in a guy to bring structure. And I was thinking, Brian Kelly, like, hasn't won a national championship. There would be some fire. Like, he's coming here to
Yeah, you
win a
think he'd be
national
hungry? Yeah,
championship. And just to hear that, like, obviously he's working more than anybody that has a 40-hour job, right? Like, it's college football. You're going to still work a lot. But, like, to hear that he wasn't giving it his all that you need to do as any premier SEC team, especially an LSU coach, because it's like, I mean, we will still. I think most people would agree schematically. Brian Kelly's probably smarter than Coach O and Les Miles. It was just Les Miles and Coach O cared, gave everything they got, built a culture, had all the players riding with them, and gave maximum effort. Just to hear that Brian Kelly was so lackadaisical and basically checked out his time here, which,
yeah,
I mean, nationally, Coward had said that, and I was just like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
yeah,
Like maybe Brian Kelly did just come for the money, and that's really what it sounds like now.
yeah.
Which makes me optimistic about our next coach, and it's like, obviously, I would love to get one of the top guys that everyone's going after. Obviously, the Kiffins, but it's honestly someone that's going to bring that culture and mentality and give it his 100% and is hungry to win. Because I mean, there's a blueprint for it, so it's
Right.
not like you have to be some schematic genius to win at LSU. It's just you got to put in the effort, which obviously hasn't been there the last 4 years.
All right, since we're talking about the coaches, I guess we can play this game. I played it with Vitale, but I'll just go through the candidates and we can just go pros and cons and then give like 1 to 10. How excited would you be? Like you look at your phone and breaking news, this person. So we can just skip Lane Kiffin. I think me and Vitale did too. Like it's 10 out of 10. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
jumping for joy. I just worry about Kiffin. Like I think Ole Miss is one of the better teams in the country. How long are you going to wait for him? And also, it could be one thing where like he could be talking to LSU like towards the end of the season, like giving inclination like he will come there. But say he makes a run to like the semifinals, and then he has a change of heart, and then you're just sitting there fucked.
yeah,
That'd be my concern. So I
yeah,
also don't trust Lane Kiffin necessarily to keep his word.
yeah. That's the only thing I'm worried about with him. Like, obviously, he's number one that everyone wants, but it's just like I want to be caught with our pants down and be
Yeah,
screwed in a situation where we don't have somebody else lined up. And like you
yeah,
said, like I mean, I know Lane's changed, but he's still a very
Yeah,
flaky. He's done
yeah,
some very
yeah.
flaky things. Like,
He's no saint. Yeah,
there's a track record where you can't take everything he says with 100% when
I don't know. I
it comes to
agree,
coaching.
but if they could lose in the first round and we can nap them up, I mean that would be amazing. 10 out of 10.
Especially
All
if it
right.
was just like a blowout too. Like it was something
Yeah,
where it's like, all right, like they ain't got it, but we'll see. We'll see.
yeah. All right. Next one, we'll go to the one. This would be like pretty shocking, but there's a lot of people talking about it. Kelvin Shepherd, another one where the timing would be very difficult. I think a lot of like the LSU reporters will be like, "Oh, it'll never happen," but it could be one of those things. Like the way this coaching carousel plays out, it's just going to be like how the dominoes land and how we attack this thing. So at first, when we fired Brian Kelly and people were mentioning him, for me, I was like, there's absolutely no way we can go down the Kelvin Shepherd route. But you could sell me on it. I feel like at this point because he would be a culture guy. I mean, that press conference he did when they asked about him for at the Lions thing. I mean, it sounds like he would take the job, and apparently the reports are that he would, and he's kind of putting himself out there for it. My concern is just be like, what staff does he build? And then are you getting to a point again where it was like at the end of the Brian Kelly administration where it's like the athletics department is really the one building out the staff. So it's like, what is the head coach really just the figurehead? Like, but the defense would probably be good. I mean, he'd bring the fire. So I mean, you could sell me on it.
I could get behind it. Like, obviously, there would be some questions. I feel like, especially with him, would be the staff he brings in. Like, obviously, I know he's coached in college before, but it's been a little while. He's been in the NFL. Like, who's he bringing in, right? Like, I could get behind it just because he's part of that old school LSU teams. Like, I mean, you've seen videos of him. Like, he obviously has that, like, kick ass mentality,
Yeah.
which I think the players would obviously ride with him. But it would really depend on who he brought in the staff. Like, who's he picking as OC? Like, that would be kind of
That would be the
concerning.
huge. Yeah, that would be what I would be worried about is just like the entire offensive staff. The one thing I would like about him is I would feel pretty safe that he's going to keep like the Frank Wilsons, the Corey Raymonds. Like you won't have to worry about that. And then like I trust him to. I mean, I don't know too much like about his schematics, so I'm guessing. I mean, if he's the DC of the Lions, he's obviously like a guru. He's a young guy, so it'd be
And I
nice to
mean,
have a guy that can at least handle one side of the ball, unlike Brian Kelly, who I just didn't really do
yeah.
much.
And I mean, also, I mean, he's under Dan Campbell and, like, you know, being a defensive guy under Dan Campbell, he's got to have some, grit and
Right.
tenacity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could definitely sell myself on it. I would just be the only like thing that would concern me was just like, all right, who's he going to pick on offense? Because I
Mm-hmm.
just don't really know if he has ever like been in that position before
Yeah.
to like pick out a staff. So
Yeah. I feel like if we get him, it would be a deal where like Austin Thomas and like whatever the athletics department people would be like heavily involved in helping building out the staff as opposed to like if you get a Kiffin, like you're just letting him do whatever he wants. All right.
yeah,
So, well, what would you give? You get a Schefter bomb on your phone. Kelvin Shepard's the next head coach LSU. What's the excitement level just immediately?
I think it'd be like 7.5.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
think I
around
said
there.
like 6.5 last time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If I mean, it wouldn't be like a grand slam, like holy shit, but
I
it
could
wouldn't
I
be the
could def-
worst.
I could believe in it, but yeah, I'd
Yeah.
probably be like a 7 if I had to
All right, let's
put
go
it.
from to this one. I'm guessing Vitali means Dillingham here. Dillingham's an interesting one because now that Auburn's open, he's getting floated for that job too with Summerall because like he was the OC when Malzahn was there with Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Uh, another thing, like he would have the fire. He would win the press conference. I guess he can handle the offensive side of the ball. I don't know too much about him. I know that he's had some like in-game problems with like some crazy decision making with like fake punts and everything, which I mean, at times I can get behind stuff like that, but I know some of like the LSU reporters were kind of complaining about that when they bring them up. And But I mean, he's
Yeah.
coaching the SEC. He's young. I mean, if it works, you would have him forever, which would be
Yeah.
nice.
I mean,
What do you think?
obviously, I like the offensive side of the ball. Like, it's, obviously ideal to have someone, I think, especially on offense, because you don't have to worry about replacing an OC. You can kind of get a
Right.
good quarterback pipeline through that. But I just think it's kind of the unknown, right? Like, obviously, he's at Arizona State. He has the ability to gamble, like you said, on a lot of plays. And it's just like, where would the decision making be at an institution like LSU, right? Like, this isn't Arizona State. You call a fake
Yeah.
punt on your 30-yard
Yeah.
line.
It better work.
I mean,
Yeah.
it better work.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
I wouldn't say like I know a ton about him, but like obviously I would be excited about the offense. I I just think like the experience isn't super long, so I just think you're taking more of a gamble on them. Because I mean, I just think if it went south or like it didn't go as planned early, it could go really south really quickly with him.
No, I agree. And that's the thing. Like last year, Arizona State, they had like they were picked dead last in the Big 12 before the year, but they had like a very senior roster. But I mean, I think what he's doing right now is still pretty impressive. I think they're 5-2, and they haven't had their starting quarterback for a while. Who I know going into the year he was like floated as like a first round pick. So I could sell myself out. It'd probably be like another 6.5.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Like 7, 6. Like I think I could sell it, but it's just like it'd be a little bit like, all right,
You're like, yo, man,
we're
gonna need to
the
see that
dice.
first game. Yeah,
Yeah.
No kidding. All right, what do you think about Summerall?
I think
I mean, I was loving them, and then they lost to UTSA last week.
Yeah, I mean, I think Summerall would obviously be exciting, right? Like he has a good track record of getting programs back on. Obviously, Tulane was pretty good when he got there.
Yeah, Troy was terrible, and he
Troy, he did a good job there. I mean, I would be pretty excited in the fact that one, he knows Louisiana. He could get. I think he's a very guy that the players would ride behind. He has a lot of head coaching experience. Obviously, it's just the concern of this guy's making a jump from, non-Power 5 to our non-Power 4 to the SEC. So seeing how he would handle that, but I think it could be a very good hire. Like I think that's one of those you can get at a discount, and it would almost remind me of almost like an Elko in a way, where it's like, hey, it's not a super exciting hire, but he gets the job and he knows what he has to do. And I think he would understand what he would have to do as the LSU head coach. Because, like, I mean, I know he's Tulane head coach, but, like, he's in the state. He understands how it works to some aspect.
100%.
So I think I wouldn't be worried about him, like,
completely
essentially running a program. Like, I think he could run a program and would understand what he would need to do. So I'd be pretty excited for it. I think I'd be more excited than the other two personally. But
I agree. For me, it'd be like a 7 or 8. Like, past Kiffin, that's probably who I would want. And I think like the whole like politics side of it with like him potentially not getting hired because he's Tulane coach and Landry and all that. I think it's so dumb because I mean, if LSU doesn't hire him and he's going to Auburn, Kentucky, like one of these jobs that's open right now, someone's gonna hire him for sure. So it'd be a dumb reason. And like I said with Vitale last week, if he goes to Auburn or something and we don't pick him up solely because of politics, and then he's this great coach and it doesn't work out as good for us, it's going to be super infuriating. And then people want to say, well, we can't do that, he's the next Billy Napier. I don't know. I think their personalities are completely different. I think Billy Napier is very like relaxed and he not a huge rah-rah guy. Summerall's like all rah-rah. Like I would love to see that pregame speech he would give for our players.
Yeah, I mean he's got that. He loves that bulletin board stuff. Like remember, like where they want to let the Tulane wear the certain jerseys and stuff. So like I wouldn't be worried about that.
That was crazy, by the way.
That was
Northwestern.
Crazy.
That's bad looks, man.
Bold move by Northwestern.
Yeah, for like Katrina anniversary, and you're gonna say no. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
But imagine how good something like that would play at LSU. Like if
Yeah.
someone slighted us in some way in the media, and then he gets on a press conference and just completely shuts them down and bitches them out, like that would be like the fans would absolutely love his personality. I feel like.
Oh, for sure. And I swear to God, if we don't get him because of the Landry stuff, which
Yeah,
is already so infuriating that
yeah,
that's making just like waves on our coaching hire. But like you said, like if he turns around and goes to like an Auburn or I mean even a Florida by any chance, I mean I don't know if that would happen,
yeah.
but even Arkansas and you just see
Yeah,
him immediately turn that program around and you let him walk. And honestly, it's like I mean he's gonna be cheaper than most of the head
Kiffin. Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
And like I'm sure if it came down to it and LSU was offering, I mean if we're just throwing out a number like 8-9 million,
yeah,
and Auburn was offering him 10 to 11. He's staying for LSU.
yeah.
Like he's going to take that discount.
Yeah, it's such a better job. I mean, I guess he's from like Huntsville, which is right by Auburn.
I
But
saw that, yeah. But I don't
I
know.
mean, I think he would if LSU offered him the job, he would do it. Yeah, that's my thing. If you don't like say we don't get Kiffin, like whatever reason he stays at Ole Miss or something, and then we don't get Summerall, we don't get some like massive name, like yeah, it's gonna piss me off because he's like literally right next door. Like everyone knows he's a good coach. Like half of LSU's media also like covers him for Tulane. Like they all love him. It would just be frustrating if politics get in the way of that.
And Governor Landry, man, just always keeping something interesting.
I mean, he gives us a lot to talk about. I guess that's the nicest thing we can say.
Yeah.
All right, next one. I feel like this might be the most controversial name across like every opening right now in the SEC. And I've seen him for Penn State. Drinkwitz.
Dude, I knew you were going to say him too.
Yeah. I'll be honest, at first I was saying like no, but after hearing some people talk through, like it'd be another situation where it'd be like a 6 out of 10. But I could convince myself that it was gonna work. Because I guess when he got hired, like around the same time as like Brian Kelly, I think it might have been the year before, like he got hired in the same year as a lot of coaches in the SEC got hired. And if you would have been like, that's going to be the guy that's the most successful out of Brian Kelly, Billy Napier, I think it was like back when Brian Harsin was at Auburn, you would have thought, no way. I remember I thought he was going to be fired in like 3 years. Like he's a goofball. It's Missouri, but they are consistently good, and he recruits well, and he's super passionate.
Yeah.
But it just seems like for whatever reason, like people don't like him. Like I was telling Vitaly this. I was like, I don't think I like him, but I don't even really know why. I think it's just I heard that he's like corny.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat where it's just like there's just something about it that's not a sexy name, like at all.
Yeah.
And it's just like I mean, he has the track record. I mean, Missouri, obviously it's Missouri, and like I think he's squeezed the lemon out of that program and done really well there. I mean, he does get fired up on the sideline, but it's just kind of a cornball. So it's like you just don't know like if it's going to be one of those like Brian Kelly things where he just comes in and doesn't work out. I mean, I think he would obviously buy in to the program.
Yeah.
But I guess on the excitement scale, I think I would be like at a solid 5. Like I just don't know if I would be like, God, like it's a home run hire. But like I wouldn't say like it would be something where I'm like, all right, like this we totally.
It's not gonna
whiffed.
go. It's not gonna be a disaster.
No,
it could
like
be with some of these other people.
And like he has experience in the SEC, which is always nice. Like he's played good games. I mean, he's played us tough whenever we played him. He played Bama tough. Like I mean, he's done well there. So it could be something where he's just kind of under the radar. But I wouldn't hate it. Like I think there's worse hires once we get into like this name range. How would you feel over him? Would you want him or Dillingham if you had to choose?
Oh, that's so tough. Because I feel like Dillingham's ceiling is probably higher, but there's just so much more unknown with him. That would be really tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually, it's like, that would be really hard if you had to pick. Honestly, oh man, I think Dillingham would play better. Like the fans would come to him quicker, but there's just so much unknown with him. Whereas Drinkwitz, I know he'll at least be solid. Because what turned me around on Drinkwitz a little bit is that when you like read or not read up, like I listen to people tell you his pros, like he's a really good evaluator of staff. Like he got Blake Baker in after we fired him, and like I don't even think most LSU fans even knew that like who Blake Baker was as our linebacker coach in 2021. And like he's a good DC. Whatever OC they just have now is really good. That would be another thing I mentioned last week is I really don't think I want Drinkwitz unless we're bringing their OC with them. But there's also been some rumors that like because Drinkwitz also is like heavy for the Florida job and Auburn now, that if he gets hired away, they're just gonna like promote the OC from within. So that's one thing. I also don't know how I feel with Drinkwitz because like half of our defensive staff was at Mizzou, like with him that we hired away, like Kevin Peoples, I think Jake Olson, the safeties coach, and obviously Blake Baker. So it's I don't know how I feel about keeping the defensive staff. Not that I don't like any of them. It's just you want to stick a coach with like half of the same people that were here before, or you just want to like completely do a culture reset. But I mean, Drinkwitz, he can identify staff, and the other thing they said is that he is hit on quarterback out of the portal every year he's been there. Like, they always have had a decent quarterback, and they got Bo Prabula or whatever, and I don't think like anyone was raving about him out of Penn State. And he was, I mean, before he tore his shit, he was looking like really, really good. So
I mean, I think like you said, like at least he's been evaluating well, especially with someone like a program where resources are definitely more scarce than at LSU. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a benefit. But like you said about like the staff, the Missouri thing is interesting about like the defense because it's like I like the defensive staff. Like I think the players like them, but it's just.
I think if you're making this move, let's just change it all.
Like I think you got to rip the Band-Aid off and let everyone go. I mean, obviously we talked about
anything attached to the Brian Kelly era. I think it's just except for Frank and Raymond, would rather just flush it. Because also it's the thing like Blake Baker's going to be a candidate for the Tulane job once Summerall goes.
That would be kind of a funny situation.
Yeah, and it's like I'm sure if he gets hired there, then he's going to bring a lot of the staff. So it's it's interesting.
We forgot
so many different scenarios.
We still got an OG from the NO area, Brad Davis, holding it down.
Man, he's gone. He's gone, man.
I forgot he was the interim when we played Kansas State.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that of everyone on that staff that year, he was the one that made it through.
Tells you a lot about how good Brian Kelly was.
Yeah. Well, I also read in The Athletic last week that they said when BK came in to do, he's at Baton Rouge, but obviously they're doing bowl prep and everything, and they said it was like one of the most bizarre like coaching transitions because apparently he didn't talk to any of the assistant coaches there. He just kind of like watched and didn't do anything, and then like the coaches didn't know what to do because they feel like, how am I going to be able to keep my job if you're not even like watching me? And he's just like this eye on this guy, but he's not saying anything. And they kind of just talk about how weird of a process it was. It's like, man, it was really just bad out the gate with Brian, but yeah, at least we can put that behind us now. All right, this is one more name, which I mean, I know your reaction to this will be the same as mine, but I have to throw it out there because fucking Moscano said this on his show today, and I can't for the life of me figuring out. He was going through like the realistic coaches that be hired, past like the Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, Dan Lanning type deal. And his three were Drinkowitz, which I think we can all agree, like that's a possibility. Summerall, same thing. And then the last name he threw out was Dan Mullen.
Dude, I heard that.
I tell you right now, if we hire Dan Mullen, I'm deleting this channel. I'm not talking about LSU content because that would be the most asinine hire of all time. I just don't understand at all. I don't think anything. I mean, yeah, UNLV's got a decent record right now. They're not lighting the world on fire. None of the reasons he got fired from Florida, I think, have been amended, like the recruiting and everything. So the fact that Moscano threw that out there is just asinine to me.
I just don't see the connection at all. Like, yeah, he was at Mississippi State, he was at Florida, but like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, if we're
He will
gonna,
be a joke if we hire him.
yeah, I mean, that'd be worse. It would be like a Hughes free hire, but worse, in
No,
my
way
opinion.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah, like it would be
Because at
like the
least Hugh
same exact
Freeze was
thing.
like, there had been a lot of time in between. Well, at least for Hugh Freeze, he got fired because of off the field things, you know.
Yeah,
Dan Mullen got fired because he literally didn't give a shit of recruiting, and it was the same thing. He wasn't completely bought in, giving it his, putting in the 80 hours a week that all these other coaches are. He's going to do his 40, 50 and, get on with his life.
yeah. I mean, obviously that would be a 0 out of 10
Zero,
for
yeah,
me.
it's a zero. And it's just
That's
concerning because, like, that's such a weird name to throw out there. And I haven't heard anyone bring it up. And it's like Moscano saying, like, I pray to God he's not like, someone's not telling him, like, that's the name they're thinking about.
I hope not. I mean, I'm looking at odds, and he's at what 50-1. I don't know if he's. I think it's the most recent odds, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
we can do
But,
this one too because he's like the betting favorite right now, Joe Brady, which
dude, I
is
still.
stealing people's money with it. If we hire him, I don't know how I feel because he literally told us he doesn't like the recruiting aspect of college football.
I know everyone's like so like. Whenever I had so many like obviously like not LSU fans like come up to me and tell me like he's betting for him, I'm like he doesn't want to coach. Like he never
No,
gave the inclination he wanted to coach in college. He came from the NFL. He did his thing in college for like 2 years
1 year.
and then one
Yeah,
year
one
actually,
year.
1 year and left. And like his biggest thing is he didn't like recruiting. Like I don't see the connection. Like I just don't think he's that. And also like I don't know if Joe Brady's a rah rah guy. Like he's a very like X's and O's
Yes.
offensive. You know what he kind of reminds me of like personality wise a little bit. Like maybe not as like blank in the face, but like Ben Johnson, where it's just like no
Yeah.
emotion. Like, I just want to get that. I don't see that actually being a possibility. I think like Vegas is just stealing people's money on that because it's just he doesn't seem like a college guy. I don't see the rah rah. I don't think he would want to recruit. I mean, the only aspect, if you want to spin it, is like obviously college is more like NFL, but it's
Yeah.
not all the way there yet.
Yeah.
Also, to me, like no coaching experience, coach for 1 year in at LSU. Like he has no ties to high schools.
No,
You know what I mean? Like he hasn't been on the recruiting trail at all
he's
recently.
not a
Like,
foreign player. Yeah, I would be worried about what staff is he going to build out.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
I don't know if
Can
I
we,
don't know if
we
we can
bringing
blame
back
him.
Eddie O and Steve Ensminger? I
I don't
mean,
know if
that's
we
the only
can.
connections he has in college.
I don't know if we can bring back like. I don't know if we can like label him as his fault. But remember when Coach Joe got Rex from him for our OC, and we got what was his name,
Jake Peets.
Jay
Oh,
Peets. I don't know if
well,
that
there's
was
been
him.
some interesting stuff that has come out about how those last 2 years of like I was watching Jacques Doucet did an interview with Ruffino on like Saturday, and they basically kind of made the point that he was like Woodward was hamstringing Coach O because he wasn't like he got hired in 2019 and Coach O like wasn't his guy. And because it doesn't make sense. Like remember we hired Bo Pelini the year after winning the Natty when we could have got we were the hottest thing in football. We could have got any D coordinator we wanted to get Bo Pelini. And remember how like Coach O was like, I didn't even interview anyone. And it's like all these years it's been like, God, Coach O, he's such an idiot. Like, how do you not interview anyone? Well, now they literally came out and said that Pelini was Woodward's hire. Like the reason O didn't interview anyone is because Woodward and them were like, this is who you're gonna get. And then the next year, like you're saying with Pete's and Durante Jones, I was looking it up today because I'm gonna do a video on it. Remember how it was like Marcus Freeman was the guy we were looking at to be DC when he was still at Cincinnati. Like I went
Mm-hmm.
back, Coach O came out in a press conference after the season and said that he was the top target. And he ended up getting hired, funny enough, by Brian Kelly at Notre Dame, and his salary was like 2.2 million. And then we end up getting Pete's and Durante Jones. Their salary combined was like 200,000 more than Marcus Freeman's was, and they only got 2-year deals. And like Preston Guy made the point after the Vanderbilt game, like before Brian Kelly got fired, he was like, man, I wonder what they're going to do in the offseason because everyone's still assuming like, well, we're going to have to keep BK because of the buyout, but we're obviously going to get new offense coaches. And he was like, I wonder if they're going to do what they did to Coach O the last year and like not give him any money to get anybody good and basically it'll be like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
you need to
just
make
like
this
we want
work.
you out there. Yeah.
It's very interesting now that it like all starts to come out about all these different things, especially about Woodward. Like,
Yeah.
apparently he did a lot of meddling, even at A&M. Apparently, and that was a big problem. Like he was messing with Jimbo and all that. It's like
Yeah.
interesting.
I did hear, obviously, Rufino touching on that a lot. I mean, especially with Brian Kelly this year, just like he does seem like that's his track record if all that comes out is true.
Yeah.
I mean, that is 100% true, at least for this year. So,
Yeah, and I know if Jacques Doucet is saying it, and he's like the most like straightforward, just newscaster guy. Like he's not one of these dudes that's going to come out here and float some rumor like that, and it's not true. Like the fact that now it's coming out because they feel comfortable that they can say it, because obviously like, Woodward and Brian Kelly are gone. Like it's obviously true. Like Jacques Doucet is not the type of reporter that's going to come out and just say some completely baseless rumor. Like that guy knows. Same with Rufino. Like they have connections. So yeah, we can't have no Joe Brady head coach, Jake Peets OC type of deal. That would be terrible.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't love Joe Brady for what he did, but wouldn't be that happy if we hired him as our head coach.
Give me Shepard as the risky hire before Joe Brady. And anyway, like I think Joe Brady's like the betting favorite right now to be the next Bengals head coach, and he's just so much more of an NFL guy, like you said.
Yeah,
like for me, whenever I see someone like on Twitter or something saying like get Joe Brady, it's like you must be such a casual fan. The man literally came out and said he really didn't like college football because of the off the field aspect of it. And that was in 2019, like pre NIL. It's only gone it's only gotten 10 times worse and 10 times more important. Like the head coach has to be someone that's like locked in with recruiting and that's like working his ass off, or else you see what happens. Like it'll be like Brian Kelly. You're just completely relying on your assistants to do all that, and no one's actually bought in for the head coach. So
no, I think it's just a sexy name people throw out there, but it never made any sense. Like you said, also he's up for a head coach. Like he's trying to be a head coach in the NFL, and he's starting to get to that point, especially with Bills looking like the way they are.
I mean, if he could be the head coach of the Bengals next year, I mean, that'd just be so sick. Like bringing the band back together.
Yeah, man. It'd be a good look for LSU, but God, the Bengals need to fix that defense.
Well, I mean, they never are because they're just so poor. Like they're broke, and I mean, they spend all their money on offense. So this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna lose 50-48 every week or whatever it was. That was a crazy game.
Yeah, it was a Joe Flacco throwing back.
Legend.
Turning back the clock there.
Dude, honestly. But rough week for LSU, man. We lose Jaden, snaps his arm in half. We got no Malik. Brian Thomas, I don't know what happened to him. I mean, he got hurt again, but he's definitely disappointed this year. Obviously, Burrow's out. It's like Jamar and Jay Jettas, man. It's the only guys we can watch.
Yeah, dude. It's been a rough season, especially NFL. Jaden, I feel bad. He's just got that injury bug this season. And
why he was even in the game? I mean, you're running QB run down 31. Like the stadium's empty. What are we doing, Dan Quinn?
Yeah, very questionable decision to say the least. I had one name. I mean, I don't know how much he's still in contention, but I mean, I know it's still been kind of thrown out there a little bit, but Brent Key, Georgia Tech.
Yeah. It's another one of those you could convince me. Like, it's a 6. Like, obviously, the toughness and culture you can count on, but just like, you don't necessarily know what you're getting on offense. I think the book's still out because everyone says the games in which Hayes King hasn't played or been on the team, like the offense has been horrible. But it could be like he inherited Georgia Tech. We were talking about this last week. I mean, they were literally running the triple option for like a decade.
Yeah.
And he turned that around, which is super impressive. But I don't know. Like, he went to Georgia Tech, played there. Will he leave? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's hard to pull people from like their alumni. I mean, I'm sure most people see like that he came out in that interview just of having those old school practices, right? Like the mentality would definitely be there. Like he would have that rah, that fire, like bring culture with him. But how much would he be helping on offense is still up for debate.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still relatively, you know, he's done some good things, but it's not like he's blown out of the water yet at Georgia
Not a
Tech. But
huge body of work. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I guess in the terms of him leaving, I mean, they did lose this past weekend and kind of a disappointing game for them. So it's like that obviously helps the case. But yeah, it's one of those like a 6 or a 7. I feel like honestly, like in this coaching hire, like for me, obviously, you know, the white whales, like outside of Lane Kiffin, like Dan Lanning, Saban,
Right.
you know, all those guys. But like after Lane Kiffin and Summerall, it's kind of like most of these guys are kind of
You're gonna be
same
talking yourself
excitement
into it a
range.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, like same excitement range, I would say.
Like they have their pros, but there's also so much you would wonder about. Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like Jeff Brom, like at Louisville, he's in like the same boat. We talked about him last week. I like
About
him. I think Jeff Brom,
yeah,
Louisville's coach. I think I like him maybe a little more than Key, just because he's like a play caller on offense. But again, he's a Louisville guy. Like he went there, played there. But the only thing for that is like, what do these coaches want to do? Like, if your goal or dream is to win a national championship, then it's a no-brainer. Like they'll come to LSU. But if it's just like, oh, I love this place, and I don't care if I never win a national championship, it's just about making this program good, then they stay. But
yeah,
yeah, I agree with you. Past the first couple names, honestly, past like Kiffin and Summerall, yeah, you're gonna have to do some convincing.
yeah.
It's like there's a lot of smoke out there about Kiffin and Saban, but at least for Saban, I can do until I see something of substance. It's going to be hard for me to believe.
Man, what? How?
Especially the way he's talking in the media, man. He's doing all these articles where he's talking about, like, well, I don't, is LSU a better job than Ole Miss? Well, fuck
Yeah,
you, Saban. Like,
yeah. I saw that shit. I
hey, at
was
least
like,
if you're not going
"Fuck
to come here,
you,
at least you
man."
don't have to trash us.
Yeah, I was like, "You always talk so great about us. Now that your name's back out there, you just
Yeah.
start bashing
Now the
us."
least
It's
you
like,
could do is
dude,
hype us
I
up,
get
man.
like I understand we've had our woes, but don't compare us to Florida. Like, I mean, don't compare us to Florida and the, like coaching hires. I mean, all they've had is Urban Meyer. I mean, they had some success under Dan Mullen, but it's still like,
In our life, yeah.
yeah, like I mean, we've had a little more of a better program.
I was arguing with some Florida fan was on my TikTok comments talking about like arguing with me about getting Kiffin, and they're like, "Well, we're the better program." It's like, how? Well, what at basketball? Like not football.
Yeah, in what world are y'all the better program?
I mean, it's been almost. I think it's been 20 years almost since they won a national championship in football. Like we just won one a couple years ago. It was the greatest team ever. And people like to
And
hype up, well, the recruiting base and high school recruiting doesn't matter as much. Bullshit, as it used to. I don't believe that at all. You're
no,
still getting like 8 or 9 of the top 10 guys in state every year. Yeah, there might be one guy like this year. What's that safety's name coming into Ohio State at Catholic? I can't remember. Bradford.
Bradford, yeah,
But yeah, like, there's always going to be like 1 or 2 guys that are like they just want to leave the state for whatever reason. But there's no other state where you're getting, especially at a state with as much talent as Louisiana, where you're just like a lock to get like 75-80% of the top players.
Well, also still being like in the middle of the recruiting ground. Like, I mean, obviously we pull greatly out of Houston. Like, that's also one of our big like steals out of Texas. I mean, like it's a no-brainer. The biggest thing that everyone's always said about LSU, right, is just it's the only big boy program in the state. You have no one else you're competing with.
Right.
It's one of the best talents. Like obviously Florida's talented, but you know,
Florida State,
there's
Miami,
it's a million schools. I mean, obviously 3 big ones, and you know, the track record just isn't there. I mean, obviously, you know, Saban. If I got a Woj bomb, we signed Saban for 3 years, I would be on the moon.
It's a 15 out of 10. Lane Kiffin's like 11 out of 10. Dude, Saban's a 15. I mean, that would literally break college football. There's some
Saban comes
rumors out
back.
there, like obviously we've heard from someone that they're talking to him, and then on Tiger droppings, there's this one guy Philly Tiger, who claims to be the source of all sources, and he was on the Brian Kelly firing the morning that it actually happened. So could be a lucky guess, but he's saying that those talks with Saban are having. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some insider knowledge. Maybe it's happening.
Maybe yeah,
maybe it's
they're having
happening.
conversations at least.
Yeah,
It pretty much has come out though that with Lanning, that the reason he came out and made like that statement on whatever interview he did is because apparently LSU did call. They called Oregon and they wanted to read his contract about what the buyout would be, and he came out and said he's staying. But I like I like that they're not just calling. They said let me read the contract.
Yeah, I mean we're taking.
I mean, they're going to spend some money. Like obviously, that he would have a huge buyout. They probably knew that going in. Like I like where their heads at here.
No, I like that we're being aggressive. Obviously, you got to call Lanning. I heard some stuff too that there's a lot of money outside of this contract too.
Yeah,
with donors and stuff.
Nike,
yeah, but yeah, no, I will say one silver lining is like when NIL first started happening, it was kind of like is LSU going to be able to keep up? But sounds like we got quite the money that has been flowing around. So it sounds like we were
one embarrassing loss to come up for one dude that's going to cover like $45 million of the buyout if it ends up being the full thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I am happy to hear that there's no lack in resources, and that's been said by pretty much every media member now.
Yeah, so. I mean, all the money we raised last year. Imagine you get a guy like Kiffin or Saban, God forbid, came in. I mean, the amount of money you'll be able to generate before this next season, just from the fans again. I feel like that's where a lot of the money came last year. Is the $1 million match with BK? Like everyone donating a couple $100 here and there, and it adds up. You get a couple guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I contributed this past season.
Yeah, we have a good $100, and I let that LSU gold run again. So I'm back-to-back donor, proud. But tell you what, if they hire Dan Mullen or some bullshit coach,
that funding's
at the end of this year, the gold is getting canceled 100%.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh man, we got Jackson tuning in. Hey man, should be on here. But good luck with your test, sir.
Study up, Jackson.
All right. I think that pretty much covers it. But before we get out, let's give a little score prediction for this Bama game.
Oh, man. Score prediction?
Yeah. Let's tell the people what they need to go bet exact score on this weekend for this game.
Man. So... obviously, you're going to take the Tigers. Score prediction.
Oh, man.
And a shocker. LSU 24, Bama 20.
Wow. Keep popping.
I'm going to say I'm predicting an exotic blitz to end the game.
Oh man, if Perk could get another stop on the last day of the game, it'd be huge for his legacy. Man,
he needs it, man. He needs it.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna win the game, that's the type of score it's gonna have to be. I'll go 28-24 LSU.
Yeah,
we kind of shut them down, and I think Harlem Berry 100+ yards, take it to the bank.
Yeah, I think this is Harlem Berry's game, and Atkins is gonna feed him the rock. And honestly, I'm hoping Nuss can recover some of his legacy in this game, but we'll see.
Yeah. We're rooting for you, Garrett.
We're rooting for you, Nuss. But yeah.
All right. It's been a great Mafia Monday, Hogue. It's a pleasure having you on.
Hey, could have started the week. Could have think of a better way to start the week than Mafia Mondays.
Mafia Mondays. Hey, every Monday we'll be live around this time. Come drop your chats. And Mr. Froman, before we get out of here, 31-14. But Mr. Froman, who is that? Bama you're winning, or we got LSU? I hope that's LSU. All right, Mr. Froman's got to get back to his test. Mafia Monday, we're signing off. Everyone, we'll see you Sunday.